Hello and welcome to another episode of In the Library of Graphic Literature with your host, Wallace Ryan.
And how are you there this evening?
Oh, I heard it's International Take Your Plant for a Walk Day.
It is? Okay.
Or maybe that was yesterday. I don't know. I don't keep track of trends.
Oh, trends. Yes, me neither. Take your plant for a walk day.
Have you heard of that new NPC trend?
No.
Oh my goodness, you don't want to.
Okay. Well, we got 12 books we got to get through anyway. Here, lay him over there for a second. Actually, it's been a backlog of books. We haven't done a show together in a while. So we're going to zip right through them.
So you didn't do one without me?
I did do two without you.
Oh.
I think. No, one. Okay. I'm in trouble. Okay, well, the first one, there's three actually. They're all Tyrion the Pirates. Will we just open one and leave the others, or will we open all three? What do you think?
How can you review a book you have never read?
Well, I have actually, right? Because I read it in the previous edition. This is just a nicer printing of it, right?
Oh, so you already have it.
Yeah, right. Oh, right there. And somewhere else there. Oh, right there and there. But
part of a smaller set.
That was a smaller set, and they announced this bigger printing of it. And of course, when I seen it, it was just like, oh, I got to do this. Just because I have all the rest of the
giant books.
Library of American Comics, giant books. Okay, this is from 1940. The time of cholera. Sherman's the name, Raven Sherman. And now that you're on my bread line, how are you in geometry? Dun-dun-dun-dun. So anyway, it's like this wartime stuff. A lot of it is taking place in China and all that, leading up to the war, and it's it's best known for its
How are you at geometry?
I'm very good. It's a very, very simple style.
It's the only algebra I can do.
Yeah? It's okay. Oh, and the color ones, look at those. Eh?
Ooh, fancy. Is that only on every other page?
Yeah, every 7th page. So you have 6 during the week, right? And then 1 on the weekend. So it's kind of cool. And these are bigger than in the previous edition too. The strips are printed bigger, so you can sort of see them a little bit better.
So you don't have these glasses.
Yeah, like I do. But anyway, Tyrion the Pirates. It's a huge classic. That style of comic art that I love and that you're not really hot on, the simplistic style.
Yeah.
Goes back to this guy, Milton Caniff. Well, actually to his letterer, but more so to him, because he influenced a lot of comic book artists who continued on in that same style, right? Okay. Should we pop open another one?
Another one. Have you read this one?
No. We're going backwards here. Actually, yeah, that was 1940. This is 1939. The Hypnotic April Cane. So Terry, this is where he falls in love. Let's see if I can open this now.
What kind of accent is that then?
No kind of accent.
I don't know if I can read that.
No, I say that. Oh, this. No, let's see. I'm equally grateful to both y'all for coming to help find Dylan and just prove I'm not failing. I think she was a Southern Belle type, right? But, yeah, so it had romance, it had adventure, wartime, all kinds of stuff.
A street cleaner going by at a time like this.
I know, it's just like, I thought everyone knew this was when I shot the show, right? The manners of some people, hey? Anyway, so this is more Milton Caniff. I'll just quickly show them there. Same thing again. Sort of need I like the bigger pages too, of course, right? They were laid out differently in the smaller version, right? Look at that panel down there in the corner, right there. Look at that shadow work. That is so cool. Let's look in on that shadow work. This Milton Caniff, he just did great line work and what they call spotting, like blacks. Like you could almost just blur your eyes and stare at all the blacks that pop out. It really makes it for the art. Oh my God, listen to that. I didn't I didn't schedule an annoying motorcycle to interrupt our show.
Paid actor.
I tell you, he's not getting paid. Okay, that's the, and last but not least, because they came out all three at once too, right? And we're about halfway through the set now, so there's another 6 to go, I think. No, let's see. Oh, it's quote from Jules Pfeiffer on this one. But yeah, it was.
It's just an opening.
Yeah. So this was the comic strip that, like a lot of young comic people who were into comics now and later on, grew up reading, and you know they were really influenced by his style. And you know some people changed and it became a really cool, simplistic style of comics, right? But yeah, there's just something. But he can actually draw very, very good too. That's the other thing too, right? Well, he would work with models too, right? He'd hire models to come in and pose for him. This guy had the budget for it, right? I do believe he appeared on the cover of Time magazine once. It's when this strip ended and this one, Steve Canyon, began, right?
I don't think they can see it.
Oh, that's good. Getting close here. Dig this. Okay, I'll go by it slowly here. I mean it's just like good old-fashioned adventure comics. It's almost like, you know what reminds me, if I was to think of a comic, of a movie franchise, reminds me that it's the Indiana Jones. That's you know, without doubt, Tyrion the Pirates is a distant relative of that. Now the rest of these, there's a bunch of 2-4s in the rest of these. We'll start with the first 2-4, Lone Stone, and both of them from this guy Druillet, who we've done before. And a lot lately, because I've been back ordering a lot of his books. So there's Lone Sloan Delirious and Lone Sloan Chaos.
So that's where all our money's going.
Yeah. When I should be feeding the babes. But this one I had this one when I was a kid. And of course, you know, when we first came across this guy Druillet, I mean, it was, let me find. Oh,
that's cool.
and this was done.
Show them.
Yeah, and this was done by hand too, right? Now this panel here, that was done by hand. That wasn't done with Illustrator or whatever. And there's a scene there with all kinds of. Oh yeah. Just really wild art. Stories were kind of cool too. And this is something very different for us from American comics. We weren't used to this, especially this big 2-page panel like that. Now you'll see, if it seems familiar to you, anyone who's a fan of a lot of 70s and 80s, there've been a lot of people who've sort of paid homage to him or ripped him off. But yeah, so very cool. I think that's one of the other ones. I think this is a more recent one, I think. From death comes rebirth. But same thing again, like I say, just incredible artwork. Let me see. No, here we go. Like something like that. Da-da-da-da. Oh, and now the police have to interrupt us. I thought I made all the calls necessary to shut this town down, right?
Yeah, well, you're supposed to shut your window down, but...
Yeah, that's true too. That's true. Oh, come on. Anyway, that's the second Druillet book. Between all this noise and that. Ooh, and now here's a 3-4 for this. These are 3 Mike Mignola books from Dark Horse. First is Frankenstein New World. So we'll just have a quick look at that. Frankenstein. Of course, anything from Mike Mignola I'll get, because I like his stuff. Of great artwork, and he's actually a good writer too. Well, and this one is Castle Full of Blackbirds. Now that sounds cool. I don't know what this... I just buy them. I don't even... If his name is on them, these days I just buy it and then I read it. So, check this one out. I'm going to be reading it sometime, hopefully over the weekend.
From the world of Hellboy.
From the world of Hellboy. And speaking of Hellboy, we have young Hellboy. This is like little Archie, I guess, or whatever. But when he was a young Hellboy.
I see.
So it's so of course I had to have it. And I got it, like I got all the other bigger Hellboy editions that are nicely bound, and it's just like he keeps putting out more and more Hellboy stories. Anyway, this one looks pretty. Oh, he has Lobster Johnson in this one. That's that guy there. Lobster Johnson is kind of like a mixture of the Shadow, Batman, and the Punisher. But any of these books, all these books by Mignola, fabulous.
And from DC, we have The Human Target, Volume 2.
Which I've been waiting on for a while. I do believe he won an Eisner for it. But
Tom King and Greg Smallwood.
Yeah, Tom King is the writer. He's one of my favorites, and the art is pretty good too. And basically,
That's different.
He has someone's poisoned him, and he got to try to find out who set him up in that, right? And he goes through all the DC universe practically to chasing down whoever tried to kill him. Now, of course, I'm not going to have any spoilers because I haven't read it myself. I've only read the first. Oh, get up there. I've only read the first volume, but I mean, I love the artwork. It's but his stories are always amazing. Now, I'm not even looking at this because I don't want to accidentally see a panel and spoil something. But yes, definitely buy it. Buy it. Okay. Now, what else do we... Oh, jeez, we're down to the bottom of the stack. The last three.
Ooh, your favorite, Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
Is this Operation Gillian?
Galleon Grab, okay.
Galleon Grab.
Okay, I guess he's looking for...
By Giorgio Cavazzani.
Yeah, yep. This is from the Disney Master series, so it's... European, yep. So all the European stuff. It's kind of interesting to see. It's different from the North American Disney stuff, right? Different style, a little bit zanier in some ways.
Is that so?
But it's and they're still putting it out. This is, I think, like volume 25 in the series. Let's have a look here. I gotta say, the artwork, it's not like the American Disney that we're used to.
Is this the American one down?
Yes, as a matter of fact, speaking of 2 4s.
That's one of my favorites with King Baba. I seen like the Mickey Mouse version where it's like the little book.
Oh, okay.
Alibaba.
Now this is from Carl Barks. He's the guy they called the duck artist, the big duck artist, and I mean he was one of the greats, and it's funny because even they used to never credit stories back then, but everyone seemed to recognize his stories automatically. They knew when they were reading whoever this good duck artist was, and eventually they realized or came to find out that it was Carl Barks. He was an amazing artist. I love his stuff.
Love it.
And this set now, this is, I don't know how many are left in this set to go. I got 20 volumes of this anyway, because he was at it for years too, right? So I got, and it's great because I got to read a good bit of it, right? Where I would, I'd never be able to afford to go out and buy all these comics, the individual titles, right? Cost me a fortune. I don't have that. Okay, and surprisingly enough, last.
An omnibus.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Volume 1.
Okay.
Is this Master Edition, eh?
Yeah.
Jon Sable, freelance.
Jon Sable freelance by this guy Mike Grell. He was famous for the Legion of Superheroes with DC Comics, and he also did some cool Green Arrow work too.
I like the pin work.
Yeah.
He
was
very detailed.
He was one of my favorites at first growing up. I mean, I read some of these. I didn't collect the whole series, but when it came out, it was just like, well,
That's nice.
it's Jon Sable, and it's an important book, right? That way, right? In terms of an independent, right? Oh, here, I'll hold up my feet for him too. Was back? Geez, I can't remember. First Comics did this. That's right. First Comics during the 80s was one of the new comic book companies that came out. Didn't survive, but it actually put out some really good comics. There was another one called American Flag, which was great. They poached all the best artists and that writers off DC and Marvel, right? And you think they'd learn. But yeah, and what I like about this too, it's a nice big size too, rather than like one of these smaller size editions, right? It's a nice big juicy meaty piece. Anyway, I guess that's it for this week.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, no, I'm like, oh my god, I should have saved a few books for for next week, but I think there is a new book in the future. If not, I can just whip off a quickie show, right?
By this logic, it's one every 2 days.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they really did pile up this time. Now, I did buy 3 today, or yesterday. Sorry about that. But they were cheap ones. Like 20.
Yeah, I was going to say my math is off. It might be one every day.
Well, this past little while. Well, that is the secret to assembling a library, right? Buy. Oh, and look, here was something I found up in the in among all the stuff. Where you found this, didn't you? It was or no, I found this over at Moon's, yeah. This is from 1976, and it's all the artwork.
You know we need more bookcases.
I know, painfully so. But I hung this for I don't know if I even hung it or if I just displayed it. It doesn't look like from the hall there, the hall looks, oh no, it was. Okay. Oh, there's a cool Batman, come on. Anyway.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks. Thanks for having us over, and
That's all, folks.
We'll be back, in a week. We'll try.
In a week.
In a week. Yay! Okay,
In a week.
Thanks for having us over. In a week. In a week. Okay. Bye. Okay, let's get out of here. Bye.